So hi guys, so this is RTP session for November 2022. So this video I'm only discussing the entire RTP MCQ questions, case-based MCQ as well as the descriptive questions which are given. Now by the way, before you proceed further, listen to this video at standard speed, point number 1. 2. At the end of this video, I'm going to attach exam, day before exam, what strategy you have to follow. And I'm also going to attach my advanced auditing revision lecture. Getting it? Now, if you look at RTP, which you are holding or which is there with you, it starts with two parts. So right now we straight away entered into part 2, which is actually discussing about question and answer. Part 1 consists of amendments. You know what amendments were there in part 1? Only one chapter, that is corporate governance chapter has amendments. No other chapter has amendments in, there are no other chapters which consist of any amendments, only corporate governance and audit committee chapter. And these amendments, important amendments which are relevant in audit subject, which are part of audit subject exclusively, I have covered in the marathon lecture, which I'm going to attach at the end of this video. Or you can even just scroll to my videos in the YouTube channel. You will find the latest marathon which I uploaded, some 11 and up to 12 hours marathon. Now, so in that I clarified regarding what amendments were there, what are relevant, all that I clarified clearly. So you please go through that after finishing this. Okay, now. So while late, straight away we'll start the session. So the first one is the integrated case study question, which is given. You know, whenever you're going to solve case study based questions, always don't read the question case study, straight away come to the questions first. First come to the questions which they are asking. So one question they are asking is first one. Briefly look at the question. In the given case, has Mr. K breached the maximum limit for clients? If yes, is he held guilty of the professional misconduct? So something they are asking regarding the ceiling limit. So ceiling limit we have in company audit, ceiling limit we have in tax audit, all that. See, generally, sometimes the MCQ which is below case study may not have any relevance to the case study sometimes. That's why if you read first the MCQ, what happens? If at all there is no relevance to the case, you can straightway select the answer and save your time. Sometimes all the 5 MCQs below a case study may not have relevance at all. May not have relevance at all. So at that time, reading case study will be an unnecessary time waste. Okay, just look at a glance, you will get an idea. Assuming yourself to be Mr. K, what would be your advice to Mr. J on the above matter? Okay. Again, they're asking something on above matter means they're referring to case. So we need to read the case study. Third one. Will retailing act of Mr. J against the company make him guilty of professional misconduct? So again, some action he has taken. Like Mr. J has taken some action against the company. So we need to read the case study for sure. So in the given scenario, again, they are referring to case study. So we need to read the case study. The firm has received the following assignments. Among the above assignments, which assignments? So again, here there is a link with case study. So first, let's read the case study. See, MCQs, case-based MCQs, how far you can solve them. It depends upon the command you have on the subject. It doesn't matter whether you solve 1000 MCQs, 1500 MCQs, whether you solved n number of MCQs, doesn't matter. If you're having very good command on the subject, you can solve MCQs, very easily. And in this session, you will realize what kind of expert command the institute is expecting from you. Now, so what is the case study? Mr. K, okay, is a practicing chartered accountant and also a member of CPA Ireland. He handles only GST related work and tax audits for clients. Currently, he is having 19 companies for which he is handling tax audit. If you observe, they indirectly gave clearly that he is handling only GST and tax audits. So he's not doing company audits. Mainly he is focusing on GST and tax audits. And currently, how many tax audits is having? 19 companies related tax audits he is handling. Remember, they didn't say about company audit. They are saying about tax audit. Tax audit, what is the ceiling limit? As per council guidelines, 60 per financial year. At the beginning of the current year, he was approached by 40 new tax audit clients. Some 40 new tax audit clients was approached. Okay. He was reluctant to accept all the work as he feared breaching the permissible limit of handling the clients. Okay. So currently he is having 19, and at the beginning of the year some 40 clients approached him, but this fellow is very doubtful. He's reluctant. He's doubtful about whether he will breach ceiling limit or not. What is the ceiling limit that we have? 60. Yes or no? Now already is having how many? 19. Now how many? 40. Totally 59. Still it is less than 60. After consulting several friends, he finally decided to accept the work of two big clients who approached him. So finally he only decided to accept two clients. Okay. Mr. J. Actually, this entire story we are discussing on behalf of Mr. K. Remember, when you are reading a case study, you should process the information while you are reading. Getting it? Always, you should immediately, recollect whatever you read related to that. Fine. Mr. J is actually the case friend. He is also a chartered accountant in practice, and he is a member empaneled as insolvency professional, was acting as statutory auditor for a listed company. Okay. The audit for current year was completed, but there was some difference of opinion between the auditor and the management. Okay, they're talking about Mr. J, not Mr. K. So Mr. J and management of the listed company has some difference of opinion. Whenever there is a difference of opinion, it may result into modified opinion if the financial statements contains a material misstatement or Mr. J did not receive sufficient appropriate evidence. As a result, the company did not send the notice for annual general meeting to Mr. J. Immediately, you should recollect the Companies Act provision. Every company must send a notice of general meeting, not just AGM, EGM also. Every general meeting must be sent. The notice must be sent to auditor, and auditor has right to attend and duty to attend. When inquired, it was said that the company is not obliged to send notices to the auditor, and it's a responsibility of the auditor to be aware of the AGM. Absolutely wrong. The company argument is absolutely wrong, because auditor has right to receive, company has duty to send, auditor has duty to attend. Having heard this, Mr. J went to his friend to clarify the above matter. As a result of this incident, the management has not paid a part of agreed audit fee to Mr. J in retailization. Means as a consequence, Mr. J took lien over few documents pertaining to the company. Having come to know about this, Mr. K immediately informed his friend that his act would lead to professional misconduct. Yes, exercising lien on working papers of the company. Even though you might have seen rights of the auditor, one of the right is right to lien. In the discussion itself, they clearly mentioned for non-payment of fees, don't exercise lien on the work, don't exercise lien on the documents and books of accounts of the client. Don't exercise lien. By the way, working papers are property of the auditor. So there is no question of exercising lien because it's my own property. What about exercising lien on client financial statements, books of accounts, records, documents? Though there is a right, what the ethical guidelines says, for non-payment of fees, don't exercise lien. Here, the auditor was not paid full fees. So he exercised lien, which is again against ethics. So no, it's a professional misconduct. Mr. K and friend Mr. J decided to start partnership firm. Okay, after all this, they got developed good rapport. So they finally started partnership. They completed all the formalities and went ahead and printed their visiting cards, which is containing the following information. Okay. So they're asking you indirectly visiting card, guidelines. So Messrs. KJ and Associates, Mr. K. So this is Mr. K. One part is Mr. K visiting card. Right side part is Mr. J visiting card. Mr. K, Chartered Accountant, CPA Ireland, partner. Address and phone number they have given. Mrs. KJ and Associate, Mr. J, Chartered Accountant, Insolvency Professional, partner. That's it. This is the visiting card which they have printed. Okay, fine. Now we'll see the questions. Further, so they have case study is not yet over. The firm had also received the following additional works assignments. What are they? Concurrent audit of one bank. Okay. Statutory audit of another bank, BBT. It is to be noted that this was not sponsored by T Bank, means not related to T Bank. Okay. Offer to act as settler of judged charitable trust. One of the RBI guidelines says where I'm acting as a concurrent auditor to the same bank, I should not act as stat auditor. So that's why they have given this within bracket clarification. Offer to act as settler. Settler is not an audit assignment, okay? Internal audit of Provident Fund Trust of the Government Company Limited. So there is a company called Government Company Limited. The name itself is Government Company Limited. Getting it? And statutory audit of same company. He was also offered statutory audit of same Government Company Limited. Internal audit of Provident Fund Trust. Statutory audit of Government Company Limited. On the basis of above mentioned facts, you are required to choose the most appropriate answers to the following question. Almost 5 to 7 minutes it took. So no, to read the case study fully, properly. Okay, now. So in the given scenario, see, I'm explaining actually. If at all I'm solving it, it will take lesser time. Since I'm explaining, it is taking little higher time. Right. In the given case, Mr. K, has Mr. K breached the maximum limit for clients? If yes, can he be guilty for professional misconduct? Look at the answers. Actually, totally 19 he is having. 40 clients approached, out of which only 2 accepted. 21. How many were permitted? 60. So he did not breach any limit. Company audits and all he is not accepting. He didn't have any company audit till date. Only tax audits he has. 60. Totally right now only 21 he is having. So he is not at all held guilty. Not at all held guilty. So if the answer is yes, they both are wrong straight away. This is not. No. In the above case, maximum wrong. No. In the above case, maximum ceiling is 60 in number. The assignments existing plus new is well below the prescribed limit and hence there is no breach. So my option is D. Why? Is he held guilty? Less than 60? No. The answer is no, he is not guilty. That's why straight away, since the sentence starts with yes, without reading the sentence, I ignored it. Whereas third sentence starts with no, partially correct answer. But maximum ceiling how much? 25. Yeah, no. Maximum ceiling is how much? 60. So that's why my option is D. Option D. So the first question, my option is D. Just a minute. We'll put side, we'll put side itself. So my first question, the answer is D. Okay. Next. Assume yourself to be Mr. K. Okay, I am Mr. K. What would be your advice to Mr. J on the above matter? What matter? On which matter? Mr. J has received some audits, regarding that. Mr. J, sorry, it's not about that. Mr. J has not received AGM notice, correct? He has not received AGM notice and company argued that it is auditor's duty to find out. So Mr. J, what he did, he exercised lien, correct? So regarding that, they might be asking. Anyhow, we'll look at the answer. The company has not followed the provisions of section 146 of the Companies Act. Like what? All notices relating to any general meeting shall be forwarded to the auditor. Also, as per 147, the company shall be punishable with a fine which shall not be less than 25,000, which may extend to 5 lakhs. This is absolutely right answer. Absolutely right answer. We'll see, is there any other right answer better than this right answer? Option B. The company has not followed provisions of 146. The company shall be punishable with a fine which is 10,000. 10,000 fine is a old limit. Now the latest limit is what? 25,000. Okay, so this option is wrong. Since the fine amount mentioned is wrong, this option is wrong. Remember, whenever you are solving any MCQ, not only finding what is right answer, what are all the wrong answers you must find out. You must select the answer only if the other 3 are not correct answers. Next. The company has not followed the provisions of section 147. 147 is a penalty section. What 147? 146 they violated. So this option, the option framing itself is wrong. So this is not right answer. The argument of management is right. What right? Management is liable to send notice. Whereas management here is arguing it is auditor duty to know. So obviously the option D is also wrong. So finally, we will stick to which option? Option A. So second question, option A. Second question, option A. Next. Will the retailing act of Mr. J against the company make him guilty? Retailing act means what? As a consequence of non-payment of fee, what he did? Exercised lien on the working papers. Which is, exercised lien on the client documents, client records. Though there is a right given under General Contract Act, But what ethical guidelines says auditor shall not exercise lien on the client related documents. It is not permitted. So will make him guilty? I mean, will Retailing Act make him guilty of professional? Yes. As per recent decisions of Ethical Standard Board, a chartered accountant cannot exercise lien over client documents or records for non-payment of fee. No means that's not right answer. Clause number 7, part number 1, second schedule, gross negligence. No, that is also not correct. Because here he did the work. Here it is not about gross negligence. Here it is about what? Lien. So the answer is C. Third question, the answer is C. The third question, the answer is C. Next. In the given case scenario, visiting cards printed by Mr. K, Mr. J. Is there anything which may lead to professional misconduct? So they printed visiting cards, right? Look at the visiting card. Is there anything contrary with the code of ethics? They're asking. If so, under what provisions it is contrary? You know, by the way, once again, we'll have a look at visiting cards. Let's look at Mr. J visiting card. Firm name has been mentioned, which is permitted. Partner, the person names, chartered accountant designation he used. If you remember, if you observe, he has used another designation. What designation? Insolvency professional designation. But clause number 7 of part number 1 of schedule number 1. As per recent council judgments, it is permitted. Insolvency professional, registered valuer. Only these two designations are permitted. No other designation he should use. Only he used insolvency professional as additional designation, and he mentioned partner, and address is mentioned, phone number is mentioned, email ID also can be mentioned, nothing wrong. So J visiting card is absolutely right. Now, you know, many students before I upload this RTP has asked me regarding this. Mr. K. Again, firm name mentioned, right? Partner name, he's a chartered accountant. Partner, everything is right. Only the problem is CPA Ireland he mentioned. Sir, can he mention additional qualifications? Yes. Which qualifications? Qualifications recognized by the institute. Now, whether CPA Ireland qualification is recognized? Yes. 3 qualifications of foreign courses are recognized. Let's look at our material straight away. Whoever my regular students were there, I think you can immediately trace out this. I'll just... you see here, 233rd page in our material, I clearly mentioned. We clearly mentioned main material, not smart notes. Look at main material. If you are a regular student, please look at main material. We clearly mentioned under which clause? Clause number 7. You know, what additional designations or additional issues that you should not mention. But here you are permitted to mention. I clearly mentioned permission. The members are permitted to mention a title on their visiting cards to indicate membership of Foreign Institute of Accountancy, which were recognized by the council. Example, South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, CPA Ireland, and Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. Only these 3 are permitted. In fact, I think a few more were also permitted. List was there. But anyhow, this question was selected. This question was drafted based on this example. So that's why, you know, exactly same example was asked. You see, straight you can trace out. Correct? Those who read from short notes and all, especially only short notes or any you know, cut short materials, they can't answer this. Only those who read this entirely thoroughly from the main material. That's why I always insist everybody to read main material always. Because see, a remote, one small example they took and framed as an MCQ. 1 mark MCQ. Or it may have 2 marks weightage. Who knows? Next. So, fourth one. CPA Ireland. Mr. J. Mr. K. Whatever he mentioned visiting card. They are correct. Mr. J, whatever he also mentioned in visiting card, they are also correct. So both of them have given details in the visiting cards as per the norms, as per the code of ethics, nothing against the code of ethics. So what is the question they are asking? In the given case, visiting cards printed by K and J, is there anything which may lead to professional misconduct? Is there anything which may lead to professional misconduct? Mentioning CPA, insolvency, professional violence are wrong. This is not a right answer. There is no information contained in both the visiting cards which leads to professional misconduct. All the details mentioned are abiding, complying with the provisions of clause number 7. So the answer is option number B. Everything is right. Mentioning CPA Ireland, by Mr. K violates, that's wrong answer. Mentioning the term insolvency professional by Mr. J violates, no, nothing, both are right. So Mr. K can mention CPA Ireland, Mr. J can mention that he is insolvency professional, both are permitted as per clause number 7 guidelines. You're getting my point. So the answer for question number 4 is B. Next. The firm had received the following assignments. The firm had received the following assignments. The firm had received following assignments. What? Concurrent audit of T Bank Limited, stat audit of BBT Limited. He want to act as a settler for Judged Charitable Trust, internal audit of PF Trust of Government Company Limited, statutory audit of Government Company Limited. Okay, you see here, there is one company called Government Company Limited. To that company, he was offered with a stat audit. He was also offered with internal. Any one only you can accept, yes or no. If you are acting as internal auditor, you should not act as stat auditor. If you are acting as stat auditor, you cannot take up internal audit. So between these two, any one only you can take up. Correct? Huh? Now, here they're all asking about stat audits. Only tax audit he has right now. So until now, Mr. K or the firm has not accepted. The firm has not accepted any much of stat audits. Okay, they didn't give anything information about that. So even after accepting these stat audits, we assume that it is within ceiling limit. So can the firm accept between 4th and 5th assignment? Anyone they can accept. If at all they accept internal, they cannot accept stat audit or vice versa. Correct? Next, you want whether the firm can they offer to act as a settler for the trust? Absolutely. The third one they can accept. Stat audit of BBT Limited, which is not related to T Bank Limited? Absolutely. Concurrent audit of T Bank Limited, which is not related to BBT? Absolutely. So which means 1, 2, 3. All the 3 they can accept. Between 4 or 5, any one only they can accept. So let's look at the options. Only 2 he can accept, wrong answer. Either 1 or 2 and 4 or 5, wrong answer. 1, 2, 3 they can accept. Whereas 4 and 5, any one only. Yes, absolutely the answer is B. Absolutely the answer is 5th question. The option is 5th question. The answer is B. 5th question. The answer is B. You know, I think if I remember correctly, in council guidelines, PF Trust internal audit point is also given. I think so. Let me check in my material. Let me check. So PF Trust. Correct, no? I'll show you one more here. I'll show you one more. You see here, exactly I gave this. Very happy that my material contains almost every point related to RTP, which many other materials don't contain. I didn't do much. I didn't do something great. I just followed ICA material. Getting it? I just respected whatever content given in ICA material. A firm which has been appointed as internal auditor of PF Trust by a government company cannot be appointed as its statutory auditor. Clearly the point is given. You know where it is given actually? I'll show you, will be shocked. Recent decisions of Ethical Standards Board. You know where this recent decisions of Ethical Standards Board was given in ICS study material, Open Ethics chapter, last pages in the Ethics chapter, this was given. This is not given as part of council guidelines. This is not given as part of self-regulatory measures. This is not given anywhere in the Schedule A, Schedule B, nothing. This is not even given in fundamental principles at last. But anyhow, even without reading this, if you apply common sense, if I do internal audit of one organization to the same organization, I cannot do stat audit. Is it PF Trust internal audit, stock internal audit, fixed assets internal audit? That doesn't matter. Any one area internal audit if I do to the same organization, I should not do stat audit. So this principle we learned in company audit. 144 prohibited services. So even if council decision specifically, if you don't read, if you apply logical, if you apply your common sense, you'll get the answer. So 5th question, the answer is B. Correct. That's it. So with this, case-based question is completely done. I hope you're clear. Almost we spent 20 minutes on this case scenario, which is actually occupying 5 marks or 7 marks. I don't know exactly what is the weightage because sometimes one question may be asked for 2 marks. Assuming each question is for 5 marks, in exam you can hardly spend 10 minutes for case-based MCQ. For each case-based, only 10 minutes. I don't say, sir, 180 minutes we have, 100 marks we have, for each mark 1.8. No, I always recommend my students to write maximum 80 to 90 marks. In fact, 80 marks if you perfectly write. That's what I even covered in this strategy. Examination strategy. That's what I told clearly. If initially you target for 80 marks, perfectly you should write. The object paper be perfect. If you are perfectly writing 80 marks, you can definitely score 60 plus marks. Then now we are having independent MCQs. Okay, fine. We'll start with the independent MCQs. Mr. B, one of the partners of the firm, is facing a dilemma as to whether the firm BMY LLP should accept the appointment as stat auditors of Messrs. Firm Limited, wherein Mr. B had sent a communication in writing addressed to the outgoing auditor, Mr. Dalai, under the certificate of posting, and the outgoing auditor has sent an acknowledgement via their official email, but this email of the outgoing auditor is not registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Oh my God. Very simple. Mr. B, one of the partner in a firm, has accepted the audit of Home Limited. Okay. There was a previous auditor, Dalai, to whom Mr. B sent communication with previous auditor, no objection, we need to send a letter. No. So this fellow sent a letter. By which post? Certificate of posting. One of the council guidelines says you must send through a registered post, RPAD, registered post with acknowledgement due. So what is that? Registered post with acknowledging delivery. More importantly, getting it? What is that what is that actual RPAD method? It will be given only to that person to whom it is addressed, and only if the person signed and agreed that he took delivery, then only this post will be delivered. Otherwise, it will not be delivered. So that is one of the council guidelines. Another guideline says mere certificate of posting is not a valid communication. Reply from other auditor must be received. That is what the actual objective. Here, what he did, certificate of posting. But here he has received the acknowledgement via official email. From the official email of the outgoing auditor, previous auditor, he got communication. But the problem is, it's official email ID as per his visiting card, as per his letterhead. But this mail ID address is not registered with ICI database. Is this permitted? This is the question. Here two issues were there. One, the new auditor has sent a letter as per clause number 8. He has sent a letter to outgoing auditor, old auditor, by certificate of posting. Is this right? Second, he sent a letter to certificate of posting, and the other auditor also communicated, replied, yes, okay, NOV, through official mail ID not registered with ICI database. Okay, Mr. B is of the opinion that there is no positive evidence of delivery and violates the provisions of Code of Ethics. See what Code of Ethics principle says. RPAD method, email, certificate of whatever you follow, delivery proof must be there. Here, I sent through certificate of posting. The other auditor has replied that he received, and no, he has given NOC clean sheet. Communication completed. No. Delivery. See, remember, many students here, they confuse. Sir, we have to send only by RPAD. What is that registered post acknowledging delivery? What does it mean? This is a proof that it is delivered. Now here, the auditor has sent a letter by certificate of posting where you will not get delivery proof. Okay, I didn't get delivery proof. I posted immediately. If I accepted the new company audit, it's a professional misconduct, because without getting delivery proof, without getting delivery information, how can I accept? But what happened here? I posted, the other auditor has communicated me. The other auditor has confirmed me that he received through his official mail ID. So here, the letter which I want to communicate is communicated to him, and I have a proof of delivery. What is the proof of delivery? He communicated me using official mail ID. Now the question is, sir, communication from official mail ID which is not registered with ICI database, is this a valid acknowledgement? Can I consider this as a valid acknowledgement? This is the question. Fine. First I'll open the corresponding provision. Official mail. Just a minute. Actually, this is there in clause number 8, right? A minute. So, I think clause number 8, we can find the answer. 7. Clause number 8. Communication with previous auditor. We need to obtain NOC. So what should be the mode of communication? They have given guidelines for this. What should be the mode of communication? What is the mode of communication? Okay. Communication must be in writing through registered post. Okay. There should be a positive evidence of the fact that communication addressed has reached. Certificate of posting cannot be taken as a positive proof of delivery. It cannot be taken as delivery proof. Here what he did, certificate of posting, but immediately he didn't accept. He has received acknowledgement of communication from retiring auditor. Wide through email address registered with institute, or you see here very clearly, observe it very clearly, is last known official email address. Either I can get an acknowledgement of delivery, I can get acknowledgement of NOC from which addresses, from which mail address, official mail ID, last known, whatever, or institute registered mail address. Both I can use. Now here in this question, he has used, they have given clearly the word official mail ID. You see, this whatever I have highlighted, based on that MCQ was designed. Tell me, if you refer short notes or any shortcut materials which will not be this much depth, how can you answer this? 99% of the cases, many students would have definitely chosen wrong answer. Definitely would have chosen wrong answer. And 99% I'm sure. Now we'll see the options. The dilemma of Mr. B is correct as it is not a positive evidence of delivery. Wrong. Many will consider this also. The dilemma of Mr. B is not correct as it is positive evidence of delivery because it is received from official email of the outgoing auditor as per code of ethics. The answer is option B. So sixth question, the answer is B. But we will read remaining answers. The dilemma of Mr. B is not correct as statutory auditors are not required to communicate with retained others. The dilemma of Mr. B is correct as email address of the outgoing auditor for which acknowledgement is received has not come from registered mail address with institute. Remember, in the professional ethics, it is clearly mentioned. We even highlighted with the bold letters. Getting it? Any point that can be tested in whenever I'm explaining in the actual classroom, wherever it is possible, this word, this line, this sentence can be tested as an MCQ. I'll be repeating this. So now you see, this is one more proof. Getting it? To best of my knowledge, I didn't highlight this much. I don't know. I didn't remember whether I highlighted this point in the class or not. But see, institute is designing MCQs like this. So in depth, nook and corner. Any line they can pick up in the entire material and test that particular line. You see, clause number 8, how big the clause number 8, you see? This much in depth. The clause number 8, you see, approximately is having so many points. Inside the 10th point, inside that 11th point, inside that E sub point, which they tested as MCQ and RTP. So this is the level of clarity you require. This is the level of observation you require. So 7th question, what is it? CA Jet is appointed as stat auditor of JB Finance Limited. JB Finance means obviously it's an NBFC covered under NBFC, systematically important, non-deposit taking and deposit taking Reserve Bank directions 2016. 99% of the students, again I can say here, not 99, but I can say confidently more than 70% of the students will not understand the significance of this. You know, you're watching this video, I don't know how many of you are able to correlate with my words. NBFCs are broadly classified as two types. Deposit taking NBFCs, non-deposit taking Non-deposit taking NBFCs are again broadly classified into two types. Systematically important NBFCs, non-systematically important NBFCs. For systematically important NBFCs, on standard assets, we have to maintain 0.4% provision. Whereas non-systematically important NBFCs, whereas provision percentage is only 0.25% in respect of standard assets. Getting it? So systematically important means those NBFCs whose asset size is more than 500 crore. All other NBFCs are simply non-systematically important. This is how. Now, again, now NBFC have given so many directions. There were so many directions for NBFCs. Please refer to my marathon NBFC. I think I have covered in that. NBFC have clearly mentioned. Full NBFC revision, the revision 12 hours. Getting it? So go through that. You will understand what are the directions means all that. Now, so what are they saying? Following information is available with Mr. Jed with respect to this company as on 31st March. Standard asset 700 lakh. Substandard asset 200 lakh. Doubtful asset secured up to 1 year 10 lakhs. Doubtful asset secured for more than 3 years 50 lakhs. Okay. So this is a NBFC systematically important. Now what will be the total provision required to be made? What is the total provision required? On standard asset how much? 0.4%. On substandard 10%. Up to 1 year I think it is 20%. If it is for more than 3 years it is 50%. So how much is the answer? Just let's cross verify. I'll take Excel sheet. Okay, I'll take Excel sheet. So what are they? So like 700, 200, 10, 50. And what is the percentage here? 0.4 percentage. And what is this percentage here for substandard? 10%. And what is the percentage here? Doubtful asset. For first 1 year means actually 20. If it is more than 3 years, 50%. So I'll simply multiply this. So if you have calculator, you can do much more faster than me. So total provision required is how much? 49.8. So let's look at the answers. Option here 49.8. For example, obviously answer is A, 49.8. Many students will do a mistake here. On 700 lakhs, they may do straight away, they may take 0.25%. If you don't observe, that's systematically important. Now, suppose if the question is here, not systematical, non-systematically important, the answer will vary. Here it is only 0.25%. Remember. Next. So for 7th question, the answer is A. For the 7th question, the answer is A. Next. While auditing, again the question on Caro. This can be asked for 2 marks MCQ. It may not be for 1 mark, but may be asked for 2 marks. Okay. While auditing with respect to compliance with Caro 2020, Mr. Om Prakash, for additional reporting purpose, observed the following relevant to Caro. Okay. So what he observed? Sorry. Now what he observed? Provident fund 1.5 lakh, 5 lakh. This is undisputed amount. Remember, undisputed amount. Caro statutory dues broadly divided into 2 parts. Undisputed dues, disputed dues. Undisputed dues, what auditor has to check? 2 things. Is the company regular in depositing undisputed dues with respective authorities? If not, what is the amount outstanding as on the last date of the reporting period from the date, for more than 6 months from the date it became due? What the provision says is, as on 31st March, is there any amount outstanding, undisputed? And if this outstanding amount is for more than 6 months, means any amount, any undisputed status. I have clearly explained this in class as well, regular class. May not be explained in marathon in depth, but in regular class I clearly explained. Before 30th September, on or before 30th September, if any statutory due is there but not paid, 31st March also arrived, 30th before September, there is a statutory due which you have to pay. The due date is before 30th September. The due date for payment is before 30th September. You have not yet paid even on 31st March. Still it is outstanding. Only that dues amount should be reported. Now you see. So Provident Fund 1.5. Date originally payable when? 24th September 2021. And as on As on 27th March, it is paid. So 31st March, it is not outstanding. Not paid till date, paid on 10th April, paid on 24th April. Now, these three we will see. GST 2.45 lakh, it is originally due on 23rd October. Which statutory due I should report? It should be outstanding as on 31st March. As on 31st March, is it outstanding? Yes, sir, because it is paid on 24th April. So outstanding is already on 31st March. But is it outstanding for more than 6 months? No. 23rd October to 31st March is less than 6 months. So no need to report. 20th September. Yes, it is before 30th September. Up to 31st March, the gap is more than 6 months and it is not paid as on 31st March. So 0.65 I have to report. Income tax demand. When the demand is payable 18th October. What is it? 18th October, not paid till date. Here also it is less than 6 months. And moreover, this is actually a disputed due. This may come under... No. It is again not a disputed due. Sorry. Don't confuse that. Demand, no. Dispute, no. Here, they have not given any information that we raised a dispute. Suppose income tax sent a notice, demand. You didn't raise any dispute on that. It's an undisputed due again. But here it is again less than 6 months as on 31st March. So no need to report. So only one amount shall be reported. Also, a representation was made to GST for waiving penalty of 1 lakh for late payment of GST demand. So this is regarding a representation. That's a different issue. What is the total amount of statutory due need to be reported by Om Prakash as per para 3 of CARO? So what we need to report as per para 3? Disputed dues, we need to report. Disputed means what? There is a demand from the department. I raised a dispute on that. I went for appeal. Then it's a disputed due that I should report. But here nothing of such information is given. What else? Undisputed due. As on 31st March, it is outstanding. And it is outstanding for more than 6 months. As on 31st March, 6 months also crossed outstanding. Overdue was crossed by more than 6 months. Only that. Like that, we identified only 65 lakhs. So the answer is 3.1, not right answer. 0.65 lakh. This is right answer. Okay. So 65,000. Sorry. 0.65 lakh means 65,000. So 8th question, the answer is B. Next. With respect to audit of public sector, it's an audit of PSU question. Which among the below is related to propriety audit? Which among the below is related to propriety audit? Propriety audit means what? Public interest, accepted customs, reasonable, value for money spent, okay, and unavoidable expenditure, improper expenditure, they should be avoided. The expenditure should be proper. The expenditure should not be avoidable. The expenditure should not be more than occasion demands. Okay. What is propriety audit? This audit is carried out by assessing whether activities, transactions, information comply with regulatory norms. It's not, that is regularity. This is regularity audit definition. This auditing focus on areas it can add value which have the greatest potential for development. It provides constructive incentives for responsible parties to take appropriate action. This is performance audit. It is an audit under which C&AG does not really cover again the field which already covered. He conducts an appraisal of efficiency. Again, it's a performance audit. It stands for verification of transactions on the test of public interest, accepted customs, standards of conduct. This audit is directed towards examination of decisions in sales, purchases, contract. Yes, the answer is D. The answer is what? D. Option D. So 9th question, the answer is option D. Next. Fine. In case of peer review, which among the following will be covered in peer review? Which of the following is covered in peer review? You know what is the scope of peer review? Peer reviewer will only check whether the practicing unit complying with professional standards, technical standards, quality control policies and procedures. That's it. It is not for finding fault. Now, compliance with legal regulations governing. No, this is not covered in peer review. Checking whether qualification of article assistants and other staffs are sufficient to be. No, it's not about not that. Compliance with tax regulations. No, not about that. Training program for staff concerned with assurance function, including availability. This is a requirement under SQC. Now, peer reviewer will check whether SQC requirement is followed or not by the audit firm. So, D. Training for articles so as to comply, so as to do assurance functions properly. This is covered as part of requirement of standard on quality control. Peer reviewer will check whether the practicing unit is satisfying standard on quality control or not. So option D. 10th question, option 10th question option D. Approximately 10 questions he answered. These 10 questions in exam, if at all they ask a similar standard, they may be asking them for 15 marks will be discussed over a period of 40 minutes. Approximately the time is 40 minutes. We discussed it for 40 minutes, 10 marks. Sorry, 15 marks. So generally, you need to solve them by 25 to 30 minutes. Since it is an explanation which I'm giving, it is taking time. For you, you should take half the time than what I'm taking right now. So with this RTP portion, MCQs is completed. Now we still have descriptive question. Okay, so we'll continue that.